Uh, Absolutely right. It is a very special relationship. And you could add to sweeter than honey and higher than the Himalayas and deeper than the oceans, iron brothers. We have stood with each other through all ups and downs both the countries have gone through. Both the countries have stood with each other. And inshallah, God willing, we will always stand with each other. And we in Pakistan feel very happy when we see China progressing so fast. When you see your iron brother growing so fast, the economic recovery, the speed of the economic growth. And then there are a lot of lessons we can learn from China, because unlike the Western countries, which their evolution was completely different to the way China has evolved and grown, and especially in the last 30 years. So we can learn a lot, and we are learning a lot from China. But the two things which I personally feel that China is unique in human history. Number one is the number of people China has got out of poverty in the last 35 years. It's never been done in human history. And secondly, the accountability in China, the accountability process, the anti-corruption drive in China is something which not just Pakistan, but a lot of the developing world can learn from. Because it does not matter how many resources your country has. If there is corruption from the leadership, from the top levels, if the country is corrupt with its leadership, with its prime minister, its ministers, then no matter how many resources you have, the country cannot move forward. And China has proven that, along with the economic growth, along with bringing people out of poverty, it has also held the top leadership accountable. And so that's also what is remarkable about China, because there was corruption in China before, but gradually they have tried to clean their system of governance. And so that's something which we are also trying to do in Pakistan. So two things which my government really wants to emulate what China has done. Number one is bringing people out of poverty. And number two, holding the top people, the leadership, accountable. Well, when our coronavirus cases started growing in Pakistan, when they started increasing, we immediately looked towards China for help. Because China, by that time, was the one country, corona cases started in the Wuhan city. And then we watched how China coped with it. And the whole world watched the way China dealt with this with virus in that city. So when the cases started growing in Pakistan, we asked China for help. And China sent its experts, its doctors came here, and then we got supplies from China, important supplies in the beginning. Then we, of course, started producing our own various things like face masks and the other things needed in dealing with it, like ventilators and oxygen. But China's help was vital to us. China's experience was very important to us because we learned from that experience. And thanks to the Almighty, Pakistan really, out of all the countries around us, our neighbors, we are the ones who came out of the crisis much better than other countries. But of course, now we have a second wave. We are trying to cope with the second wave. But the first wave, if China had not helped us, I don't think we would have dealt with it as well as we did. You see, CPEC is extremely important for Pakistan. First, it was just a question of a road, and then about energy projects. But now CPEC for us it means a lot of different things. Apart from this connectivity, and the connectivity is increasing, we are developing, first it was the eastern route, now we are developing the western route to Gwadar, and developing Gwadar as that port, the deep sea port. But now we are moving towards technology zones, special economic zones, where we hope we are getting help from China. We hope relocation of industry into these special economic zones with special incentives. And then Pakistan labor is much cheaper than China, so we hope that we can attract Chinese industry here. But apart from that, we are taking help in agriculture. Pakistan is an agricultural country. Unfortunately, our productivity is very low. And China, of course, its productivity has progressively grown over a period of time. So we want to learn from China how we can also increase the productivity in our agriculture. Apart from that, we are seeking help in these technology institutes, technical training of our workers. So it's starting from just a road connectivity. It has now evolved. We have fiber optic cable also connecting rail, one of the most, as far as our railways go, in our history, it's the biggest project, ML1, which connects north to south, and that's where China is helping us. But as I said, it's now evolved into other things, which is industrialization and agricultural productivity. The second phase is extremely important for us because, you see, unfortunately, Pakistan was industrializing some 50 years ago. We had one of the best industrial policies, and Pakistan was growing faster than all the countries around in the 60s. But then, we had a series of poor policies, misplaced nationalization, misconceived. And so Pakistan actually deindustrialized. And we stagnated as a country, and especially in the last 30 years. So we desperately need to reindustrialize again. We have a young population. We need to provide them employment. And we cannot provide them employment unless we industrialize. Secondly, we cannot create wealth in Pakistan until we industrialize. And we have to create wealth to pay back the loans which we have taken, the debts that the country has accumulated over the last, especially 10 years. And so therefore that wealth creation can only take place if we industrialize. And that's why China is very important for us, because China also had this massive industrialization program, especially in the last 30 years. So with that industrialization, China was able to do two things. One, it providing employment to its people, and that with the wealth creation, it was able to lift its people out of poverty. I think this Belt and Road Initiative of President Xi is one of the most remarkable initiatives in modern history. Because what it is trying to do is to create connectivity all over Asia, really going all the way to Europe, and then, of course, from Gwadar into Africa. So it is it is something which will completely change the world in the coming years. It is, from the days of the Silk Road, when Silk Road was where the maximum amount of trade used to take place. Since then, this is something unique, which is connecting Asia to Europe, to Africa, to Middle East. It is a very far-sighted initiative. Well, I wish people of China the happiest, the most successful, the year 21. I hope that our friendship, China and Pakistan friendship, grow stronger and stronger. It has always been, as I said, a very special relationship, but we hope to get this relationship even more ironclad. The Iron Brothers relationship gets firmer, and it will be, and I hope it will be mutually beneficial. It will be beneficial to China, and of course it will help Pakistan too in the process. I hope that China relationship with the US becomes based on trade rather than a rivalry, because it will then help the whole world. We find it sad that the relationship between China and US got strained, and then when a trade war takes place between these two giants, the whole world gets affected. So we hope that the new administration will balance the relationship with China. Unfortunately, that balance was disturbed, and as I said, it will benefit all of us.